Good afternoon, children. Welcome to online classes, 7th class General Science. This is K. Vijayalakshmi, Biological Science CRT, Sambepalli KGBV. Today's topic is nutrition in plants. All living organisms need food. We learn also last session carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals are food components. These are known as nutrients. It is very essential our body. All living organisms require food. Plants can synthesize food for themselves, but animals, including humans, cannot prepare their own food. They get it from plants or animals that eat plants. Thus, humans and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants. So, plants can synthesize food, but animals and human beings cannot synthesize food. They dependently on plants for food. Modes of nutrition in plants. Plants are the only organisms that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide and minerals. These are also called raw materials. The raw materials are present in their surroundings. So plants get their raw materials from their surroundings. The nutrients enable living organisms to build their bodies, to grow, to repair damaged parts of their bodies and provide the energy to carry out life process. Nutrition is the mode or process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Mode of nutrition in plants. Based on nutrition, nutritions are two types. They are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self. Tropes means nourishments or nutrients. Therefore, plants are called autotrophs. Animals and most other organisms take in food prepared by plants. They are called heterotrophs. Animals, they cannot prepare their own food. So, they depend for food other organisms. So, it is called heterotrophs. Now, here some questions will arise our mind. Why our body cannot make food from carbon dioxide, water and minerals like plants do? Where the food factories of plants are located? Whether food is made in all parts of a plant or only in certain parts? How do plants obtain the raw materials from the surroundings? How do they transport them to the food factories of plants? Here some questions. These questions we try to answer for this photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process. It is a food making process in plants. Leaves are the food factories of plants. Therefore, all the raw materials must reach the leaf. Here, raw materials. What are the raw materials? Raw materials are carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Water or minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. Next, carbon dioxide from air is taken in through the tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. These pores are surrounded by God cells. Such pores are called stomata. See the children, structure of stomata. Here, stomata picture. It is a guard cell, Pores, here guard cells. It is the pore. Here also present the guard cells. It is a pore or stomata. Number of stomatas are present lower part of the leaf. Here also stomata. See the children? Where is stomatos are present? Yes, tomatoes are present in leaves. We have seen the cell stomato present in the plant cells. Similarly, in our body, some cells are present. We have seen that buildings are made of bricks. Similarly, the bodies of living organisms are made of tiny unit cell called cells. Cells can be seen only under the microscope. Some organisms are made of only one cell. These organisms are single-celled organisms. The cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary called the cell membrane. It is cell membrane. Most cells have a distinct, centrally located spherical structure called the nucleus. It is the nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. Now, water and minerals are transported to the leaves by the vessels which run like pipes throughout the root, the stem, the branches and the leaves. They form a continuous path of passage for the nutrients to reach the leaf. They are called vessels. In our body, blood vessels are present. Here also some of the vessels like xylem vessel and phloem vessel. Xylem vessels transport always water in the soil through the root and all parts of the leaves. And phloem vessel always transport nutrients from the soil to all parts of the plant. Now the process of photosynthesis. The leaves have a green pigment called chlorophyll. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. This energy is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. Photo means light, synthesis means to prepare or to combine. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. It is a unique process on the earth. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the process of food. Thus, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. So, the children, what are the essential factors of photosynthesis? Photosynthesis factors are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Where is chlorophyll present? Chlorophyll present in the leaves. Can you imagine life on earth in the absence of photosynthesis? No, we cannot imagine. In the absence of photosynthesis, there would not be any food. The survival of almost all living organisms directly or indirectly depends upon the food made by the plants. Besides, oxygen, which is essential for the survival of all organisms, is produced during photosynthesis. In the absence absence of photosynthesis, life would be impossible on the earth. During photosynthesis, chlorophyll containing cells of leaves in the presence of sunlight use carbon dioxide and water to synthesize carbohydrates. The process can be represented in an equation. Here equation carbon dioxide plus water, sunlight and chlorophyll gives rise by carbohydrate plus oxygen. It is these are carbon dioxide and water are raw materials for photosynthesis. Here carbohydrate and oxygen are end products of photosynthesis. Here photosynthesis process, light energy, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll, these are raw materials. This is the chloroplast. It is present in the leaves. A chlorophyll pigment is present in the chloroplast. During the process, oxygen is released. The presence of starch in leaves indicates the occurrence of photosynthesis. Starch is also a carbohydrate. For this, a simple activity. To prove that starch is present in the leaves, conduct a small activity. Select a plant and keep it in dark for 3 days. After 3 days, keep the plant in sunlight. Now do the activity. Take a leaf from selected plant well exposed to sunlight. Boil the leaf in methylated spirit over a water bath. It becomes pale white due to the removal of chlorophyll. Take the leaf carefully from test tube. Spread the leaf in a petri dish and add a few drops of iodine on it. The leaf color changes to blue-black, which indicates starch. See the activity, children. For this, some materials are required. Beaker, test tube, iron gauge, dropper, leaf, test tube holder, Bunsen burner. Start. Iodine solution. Petri dish. Take the leaf from a plant. Take a beaker with water. Take a test tube. Pour methylated spirit into it. Insert the leaf into the test tube. Boil the leaf in methylated spirit over a water bath. Here, leaf boiled. Boil the leaf till it become pale white. Then take the leaf from test tube and place it in a petri dish. Spirit becomes pale green due to chlorophyll dissolved in it. See, spirit in green color. Leaf becomes pale white due to the removal of chlorophyll. Then add a drop of iodine solution on the leaf. Observe iodine solution are yellow color. Slowly the leaf changed in blue-black color. Leaf turns into blue-black color. It indicates that starch is present in the leaf. Besides leaves, Photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plant, in green stems and green branches. The desert plants have scale or spine-like leaves to reduce loss of water by transpiration. These plants have green stems which carry out photosynthesis. Here, desert plants. Desert plants have small scales on the stem. The loss of water reduces. Here the leaves turns into small scales or thorns. The leaves other than green also have chlorophyll. The large amount of red, brown and other pigments mask the green color. Photosynthesis takes place in these leaves also. Here colored leaves. Here the red pigment. It is inside the green pigment also present. So the colored leaves also takes place photosynthesis. You often see slimy green patches in ponds or stagnant water bodies. These are generally formed by the growth of organisms called algae. Can you guess why algae are green in color? They contain chlorophyll, which gives them the green color. Algae can also prepare their own food by photosynthesis. So, algae is also known as autotrophs. Next, synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. You have just learned that plants synthesize carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. Carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are used to synthesize other components of food such as proteins and fats. But proteins are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. From where do the plants obtain nitrogen? Recall that nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air. However, plants cannot absorb nitrogen in this form. Soil has certain bacteria that convert gaseous nitrogen into a useful form and release into the soil. These are absorbed by the plants along with water. Also, you might have seen farmers adding fertilizers rich in nitrogen to the soil. In this way, the plant fulfill their requirements of nitrogen along with the other constituents. Plants can then synthesize proteins and vitamins. Other modes of nutrition. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They cannot synthesize food. How do they survive and from where do they derive nutrition? Like humans and animals, such plants depend on the food produced by other plants. They use the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Here the heterotrophic nutrition. It is the Cuscuta plant. You see a yellow wiry branched structure twinning around the stem and branches of a tree. This is a plant called Cuscuta. It does not have chlorophyll. It takes ready-made food from the plant on which it is climbing. The plant on which it climbs is called the host. Since it derives the host or valuable nutrients. Cuscuta is called the parasite. We and other animals also a kind of parasites. Example of parasites: mosquitoes, bedbugs, lice and leeches that suck our blood. Next, insectivorous plants. There are a few plants which can trap insects and digest them. Such plants may be green or some other color. It is a pitcher plant. It is also in green color. The pitcher-like or jug-like structure is the modified part of leaf. The apex of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. It is the lid. It is close the pitcher. Inside the pitcher there are hair which are directed downwards. When an insect lands in the pitcher, the lid closes and the trapped insect gets entangled into the hair. The lid closes and the insect is trapped. The insect is digested by the digestive juices secreted in the pitcher and its nutrients are absorbed. Such insect eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Now, here the insectivorous plants. It is Drosera. These plants are also called carnivorous plants. These plants grow in areas deficient in nitrogen. Hence, they meet their nitrogen requirements from insects. Next, saprophytes. You might have seen packets of mushrooms sold in the vegetable market. You may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing in moist soils or on rotting wood during the rainy season. Let us find out what type of nutrients they need to survive and from where they get them. Here the mushrooms. It is in the soil mushroom. Next. We see the fungi a small activity. Take a piece of bread and moist it with water. Leave it in a moist warm place for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appear on them. What is the color of these patches? The patches are green in color. Observe the patches under microscope or a magnifying glass. You will see cotton threads appear on the piece of bread. These organisms called fungi. We see a magnifying lens also. Now, saprotrophic nutrition. Fungi have different mode of nutrition. They absorb the nutrients from the bread. The mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients from dead and decaying matter is called saprotrophic nutrition. What is saprotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients from dead and decaying matter is called saprotrophic nutrition. Such organisms with saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. Fungi also grow on pickles, leather, cloths and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. During the rainy season, they spoil many things. The fungal spores are generally present in the air. When they land on wet and warm things, they germinate and grow. ఫంగల్ స్పోర్స్ మామూలుగా గాల్లో ఉంటాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే అవి భూమిపైన తడిగా ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రాంతాల్లో చేరుతాయో మొలకెత్తుతాయి. మెనీ ఫంగి లైక్ ఈస్ట్ అండ్ మష్రూమ్స్ are useful. For example, మన ఇంట్లో ఇడ్లీ దోశ బ్రెడ్ లాంటివి ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. వాటిలో కూడా ఈస్ట్ అనేటువంటి ఫంగీ చేరి వాటిని బాగా పులియబెట్టి ఇడ్లీ దోశ మెత్తగా అవడానికి ఉపయోగపడతాయి. బట్ సమ్ ఫంగీ కాజ్ డిసీజెస్ ఇన్ ప్లాంట్స్, అనిమల్స్ ఇంక్లూడింగ్ హ్యూమన్స్. అయితే కొన్ని ఫంగస్ హార్మ్ఫుల్ ఫంగస్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. అవి ఏం చేస్తాయంటే ప్లాంట్స్లోను మనలో కూడా చాలా వ్యాధులు రావడానికి కారణమవుతున్నాయి. సమ్ ఫంగి ఆర్ ఆల్సో యూజ్డ్ యాజ్ మెడిసిన్స్. కొన్ని ఫంగస్ని మెడిసిన్స్ను కూడా తయారు చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. అవి వ్యాధులను నివారించడంలో, ముఖ్యంగా బ్యాక్టీరియా చేత వచ్చేటువంటి వ్యాధులు నివారించడంలో ఈ ఫంగల్ మెడిసిన్స్ అనేటివి ఉపయోగపడుతూ ఉన్నాయి. Now, symbiosis. Here two organisms are combined to live and both are beneficial. Some organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrients. This relationship is called symbiosis. For example, certain bacteria live inside the roots of plants. The plants provide nutrients to the fungus, and in return the fungus provides water and certain nutrients. See the children, here the fungus inside the root nodules of groundnut plant. Here groundnut plant provide the shelter to fungus, and fungus provide the nutrients for groundnut plant. This is the sea anemone and fish. It is also symbiosis relationship. This is another example of symbiosis. In organisms called lichens, a chlorophyll containing partner, which is an algae, and a fungus live together. The fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae, and in return the algae prepares and provides food to the fungus. See the children, it is the fungus. It is white in color. Inside the fungus algae is present. Algae prepare the food and to return the fungus. Fungus provides the shelter, the algae. So it is the symbiosis relationship of the fungi. Now, how nutrients are replenished or refilled in the soil? Have you seen farmers spreading manure or fertilizers in the fields, or gardeners using them in lawns or in pots? Do you know why this is done? Plants absorb minerals and nutrients from the soil, so their amount in the soil keep on declining or deficiency. That means plants absorb the nutrients to prepare the food, so the soil lost these nutrients. Fertilizers and manures contain nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. Children, you also see your fathers get the manures in the form of potassium, phosphorus packets, and this is spread in your fields. These nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. We can grow plants and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the nutrient requirement of plants. Usually crop plants absorb a lot of nitrogen and the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Nitrogen gas is available in plenty in the air, but plants cannot use it in the manner. They can use carbon dioxide. They need nitrogen in a soluble form. That means plants cannot nitrogen in the form of gas. They can use only soluble form. The bacterium called rhizobium can take atmospheric nitrogen and converts into a usable form, but rhizobium cannot make its own food. So, it often lives in the roots of gram, peas, moong, beans and other legumes and provides them with nitrogen. In return, the plants provide food and shelter to the bacteria, thus have a symbiotic relationship. This association is of great significance for the farmers. They can reduce the use of nitrogenous fertilizer where legumes plants are grown. Most of the pulses are obtained from leguminous plants. That means ప్లాంట్స్ ముఖ్యంగా పప్పు ధాన్యాలను ఇచ్చేటువంటి మొక్కలను ఉన్నటువంటి పొలంలో నైట్రోజన్ ఎరువు రూపంలో వేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదు. ఎందుకంటే ఆ మొక్కల యొక్క వేర్లలో రైజోబియం బ్యాక్టీరియా ఉండి అది అట్మాస్ఫియర్లో ఉన్నటువంటి నైట్రోజన్ను అబ్జర్వ్ చేసి వేరే రూపంలోనికి మార్చి నిల్వ చేసుకుంటుంది. దాన్ని ఆ మొక్కలకు అందిస్తుంది. అందువలన నైట్రోజన్ ఎరువు రూపంలో వేయాల్సిన అవసరము ఉండదు. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్లాంట్స్ ఆర్ ఆటోట్రోప్స్. ఓన్లీ ఏ ఫ్యూ ప్లాంట్స్ ఆర్ పారాసైటిక్ ఆర్ సాఫ్రోట్రోపిక్. They derive nutrition from other organisms. All animals are categorized as heterotrophs since they depend on plants and other animals for food. So our lesson is completed. Here some keywords in this lesson: autotrophic, chlorophyll, heterotrophs, host, insectivorous, nutrient, nutrition, parasite. Photosynthesis, saffrotrophs, saffrotropic, stomata. These are the keywords in the lesson. Now once again, what we have learnt in this lesson: all organisms need food and utilize it to get energy for growth and maintenance of their body. ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ అన్నీ ఫుడ్ని వినియోగించుకొని ఎనర్జీ కోసం, పెరుగుదల కోసం, బాడీని సక్రమంగా మెయింటైన్ చేసుకునే దానికోసం వినియోగించుకుంటాయి. గ్రీన్ ప్లాంట్స్ సింథసైజ్ ఫుడ్ ఫార్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్ బై ద ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్. దే ఆర్ ఆటోట్రోప్స్. మొక్కలన్నీ కూడా ఫుడ్ను ప్రిపేర్ చేసి ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అనే ప్రాసెస్ ద్వారా తయారు చేస్తాయి కాబట్టి వాటిని ఆటోట్రోప్స్ అని అంటారు. ప్లాంట్స్ లైక్ కస్కుటా ఆర్ పారాసైట్. దే టేక్ ఫుడ్ ఫ్రమ్ హోస్ట్ ప్లాంట్. కస్కుటా అనేటువంటి మొక్క మాత్రము పారాసైట్. ఇది సొంతంగా ఆహార పదార్థాలను తయారు చేయలేదు. ఇది ఆకులు ఉండవు ఇందులో. అంతేకాకుండా తనకు కావలసినటువంటి ఆహారాన్ని ఏ మొక్క పైన అయితే ఇది అల్లుకుంటుందో ఆ మొక్క నుంచి తనకు కావలసిన పోషక పదార్థాలను తనలో ఉన్నటువంటి వేర్ల లాంటి నిర్మాణాలైన చూషకాలు, వాటిని హాస్టోరియా అంటారు. హాస్టోరియాస్ ద్వారా ఆ మొక్క నుంచి తనకు కావలసిన ఆహార పదార్థాలన్నింటినీ తీసుకుంటుంది. కొన్ని సందర్భాలలో తనకు ఆశ్రయాన్ని ఇచ్చినటువంటి మొక్కను కూడా చంపేస్తుంది. అందుకే దీన్ని పారాసైట్ అంటారు. Plants use simple chemical substances like carbon dioxide, water and minerals for the synthesis of food. Chlorophyll, water, carbon dioxide and sunlight are the essential requirements for photosynthesis. ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అవసరమైనటువంటి ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి పదార్థాలు ఏంటంటే క్లోరోఫిల్, వాటర్, కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ and sunlight. These are the essential requirements for photosynthesis. Complex chemical substances such as carbohydrates are the products of photosynthesis. Here some of the end products of photosynthesis, that is carbohydrates and oxygen. solar energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll present in leaves and plants. సోలార్ ఎనర్జీని మొక్కల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆకుల్లో ఉన్న క్లోరోఫిల్ గ్రీన్ కలర్లో ఉన్న ఒక పిగ్మెంట్, ఇది మాత్రమే సోలార్ ఎనర్జీని బంధించి దాన్ని కెమికల్ ఎనర్జీగా చేంజ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆక్సిజన్ ఈజ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ డ్యూరింగ్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్. కార్బోహైడ్రేట్స్తో పాటు ఆక్సిజన్ కూడా ఫోటోసింథసిస్లో రిలీజ్ అవుతుందని తెలుసుకున్నాం. ఆక్సిజన్ రిలీజ్డ్ ఇన్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్ ఈజ్ యూటిలైజ్డ్ బై లివింగ్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ for their survival. Many fungi derive nutrition from dead and decaying matter. They are saprotropes. చాలా రకాలైనటువంటి ఫంగీస్ అన్నీ కూడా ఓన్గా ఫుడ్ని ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకోలేవు కాబట్టి ఇవి ఆహార పదార్థాలను చనిపోయిన కుళ్ళిపోయినటువంటి మొక్కల జంతువుల యొక్క దేహాల నుంచి తమకు కావాల్సిన పోషక పదార్థాలను తీసుకుంటుంది. A few plants and all animals are dependent on others for their nutrition and are called heterotrophs. A few plants. Here, some of the plants we learn insectivorous plants. They prepare the food, but extra nutrients, these are dependent other animals like insects and eat them. Okay children, note down the project for giving you. Please complete this project work. Take a potted plant with broad leaves. Take 2 strips of black paper and cut out a small square in the center. Cover a part of 2 leaves with these papers and secure them with paper clips. Keep the plant in sunlight for 2 to 5 days. Observe the differences in the color of the covered and the uncovered portion on the leaf. Perform iodine test on this leaf. Did the 2 parts show different results? Now take second leaf, remove the strip and expose the covered part to the sunlight for 2 to 3 days and do the iodine test again. Describe your observation in your notebook. Let us some points discuss. Here some fill in the blanks are given. Green plants are called dash since they synthesize their own food. The question is, green plants are called. What is the presence in the green plants? Chlorophyll is present. So it is synthesize the own food. So it is called autotrophs. Answer is autotrophs. Second one. The food synthesized by plants is stored as dash. Plants prepared food and stored as dash. Stored as carbohydrates, in the form of carbohydrates. Third one is, in photosynthesis, solar energy is absorbed by the pigment called. What is the pigment? Present in the green leaves. The pigment present in the green leaves is called chlorophyll. Answer is chlorophyll. Next, fourth one. During photosynthesis, plants taken in dash and dash release gas. During photosynthesis, which gas is taken the plants? Carbon dioxide. And which gas is released? Oxygen. Answer is 1, carbon dioxide, another oxygen. Next, name the following. Here some questions are given, answer these. Now, first one, a parasitic plant with yellow, slender and branched stem. What is the name of plant? A parasitic plant. This plant cannot synthesize food. It is dependent on host. What is the name? The name is Cuscuta. Okay. Second one. A plant that is partially autotrophic. Already you know a plant can synthesize food, but extra nitrogen they dependent the insect. What is the name of plant? Pitcher plant. Next, the pores through which leaves exchange gases. The pores, that means stomata. Where does the stomata present? Leaves. Next. Now match the following. Here two columns are given, column 1 and column 2. First column, chlorophyll, nitrogen, cuscuta, animals and insects. Second column, rhizobium, heterotrophs, pitcher plant, leaf, parasite. Now match the following. Chlorophyll. Where is the chlorophyll present? Here chlorophyll present in leaf. Next, nitrogen. Chlorophyll present in leaf. Next, nitrogen. What is the importance of nitrogen? Nitrogen stored the bacteria called rhizobium. So answer is rhizobium. Answer is rhizobium. Next, cuscuta. Cuscuta is a plant that is called which plant? Parasitic plant. So cuscuta, parasite plant. Answer is parasite. Next, animals. Animals are also called heterotrophs. So answer is heterotrophs. Animals or heterotrophs. Then insects. Insects use చేసుకునేటువంటివి. Here pitcher plant. This is the insectivorous plant. So the match is insects and pitcher plant. Answer is pitcher plant. Okay. Now next, mark T if the statement is true and F if it is false. Okay. First one, carbon dioxide is released during photosynthesis. This statement is true or false? It is false because photosynthesis process oxygen gas is released. Here the statement is wrong. Next, plants which synthesize their food are called saprotrophs. What are called autotrophs? Autotrophs means synthesize their own food. Example of plant. Here the statement is wrong. So it is a false statement. Next. The product of photosynthesis is not a protein. The statement is true or false? The product of photosynthesis is not a protein. Yes, correct. Is not a protein or is a carbohydrate. So it is a true statement. Next. Solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. See the children, already we learned the process of photosynthesis. Chlorophyll trap the solar energy and convert the chemical energy. So it is a true statement. So statement is true. Now choose the correct option from the following. Here some sentences are given. For this, what is the answer correct one? Choose them. First one, which part of the plant takes in carbon dioxide from the air for photosynthesis? Plant లో ఏ పార్ట్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అవసరమైన గాలిని తీసుకుంటుంది అంటే కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ను తీసుకుంటుంది? ఫస్ట్ వన్, రూట్ హెయిర్, స్టొమాటా, లీఫ్ వెయిన్, petals. What is the answer? The answer is stomata, because stomata is a pore, the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen. So answer is stomata. Second one, plants take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere mainly through their roots, stem, flower, leaves. ప్లాంట్స్ కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ను అట్మాస్ఫియర్ నుంచి మెయిన్గా దేని నుంచి తీసుకుంటుంది? రూట్సా, స్టెమ్మా, ఫ్లవరా, లీవ్సా? లీవ్స్. లీవ్స్లో మాత్రమే టొమాటోస్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ లీవ్స్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ వన్ స్టొమాటా, సెకండ్ వన్ leaves. Children, take a notebook and write these questions. Please answer the questions. First one, distinguish between a parasite and a saprotroph. Second one, how would you test the presence of starch in leaves? So these two questions answer your notebook compulsory. So our lesson is completed. Thanks for giving this opportunity. I hope all children are safe.